Recently, I heard Andy Stanley make a statement that I thought it was very, very profound. He said, "Your life is a story." Then the question becomes is, what type of story are you willing to tell one day? See, as we go through life and we make choices and we really don't think about the consequences, I know I'm speaking firsthand. When I decided to just abandon my life and the path that I had set forth for myself, where I was going to graduate from the University of Miami early, be in law school by the age of 22, graduate from law school by 25, and then I would go on to become a millionaire by 30. And I had that so well defined and I had it so well planned out, and I did not let anything intervene with that plan and that vision that I had for my life. Because see, for my life, I was poor, and being poor meant nothing to me. It meant I was a nobody, which in reality is not, because when I really became somebody very important, not to the world, but to myself. See, that's something that's very important we need to learn. We need to quit worrying about what the world thinks of us and worry more about what we think of us. And if we are a person of faith, what we think of us should be aligned with what Christ would think of us. So for me, I just abandoned all that for a moment of weakness, seeing other people having so much money with no education, me working so hard and, literally struggling, that I chose to become a drug dealer, ruined my whole life. But the interesting thing about our life and our story is that at that moment in time, my story was a bad story. I was in jail for 10 years. I have been divorced 3 times. I had abandoned my family. I abandoned my brother, everyone that I love. I had given into lust. I had given into pornography. And pornography not from watching movies, from literally having those porn stars at my house. So I had given into all of that was so against who I really was, who the person that my mother and father raised to be, a man of tremendous integrity. I used to say in the cartel that we would die for each other, but yet, interesting enough, we all cheated. You were expected to cheat on your wives. So you take my life by the age of 20, and it was a great story. An immigrant kid came to America very poor at the age of 10 and worked full-time for the Federal Reserve Bank since the age of 17 to the age of 20. But then all of a sudden, from 20 to the age of 34, my life becomes a horrific story. So where mine was an inspirational story up to the age of 20, from 20 to 34, it was a horror story. I abandoned everything. I risked my life, the life of my children, the life of my parents. I abandoned my kids. I divorced their moms. I cheated on them. But then all of a sudden, see, we get a second chance in life. And then I created a much better story. I created a story where I surrendered to God. I created a story where I realized that the most important thing in my life was not having anything, but was in reality just being the man that I was. So my life radically changed. And I thank God for that. And that's what's interesting about our life. And that's what we got to do. And then we told a story where I married the woman that I loved to death, where I married someone that was just an unbelievable person, someone who had tremendous morals, no baggage, someone who was able to really help me become the man I originally planned since an early age. I earned a Ph.D., worked my ass off, started a company from scratch, and we built it into a multi-million-dollar multinational company. Then I retired to tell a different story. So all of a sudden, from the age of 34, after I'm released from prison, my life is a success. It's a story of success. Earn a Ph.D., earn a master's degree, earn another bachelor's degree, become one of 5 Hispanics with a Ph.D. in America, in Bible, and then build a company from scratch, the American dream. But then I think the most important part of my story is the last part. It is the story where I realized that a man must define in life when enough is enough. It's a story where I realized that what was most important in my life was not searching the almighty dollar, but in reality, being there for my kids, being a good husband, being a good friend, being a good father, a good son. God gave me the gift of allowing my dad to die in my hands and not seeing my dad die when I was in prison. So that's the greatest part of my story, the most inspirational part of my story, which is the last chapter where I reinvent myself. So when you put my whole life together, it's a series of different scenes. You got laughter, you got different stories of success, of horror, of tragedy. And that's what our life is. Think about your life. Think about different stages of your life. And especially at the end, tell yourself how do you want to finish your story? How do you want to finish your movie? The movie about your life. Do you want to finish it in a high note? Or do you want to finish it defeated? It's all about mindset. It's all about how you look at the world and what lenses you're looking at the world through. I don't care how much money you have or how much money you do not have. I have no respect for either. I have respect for the men or women of truth, integrity, where yes means yes, no means no, where a lie is abhorrent, where you're willing to die for those you love, where you value the most important thing in your life, your children, and above all, your wife, the one that one day you chose to marry, the one that brought children into the world, and that at some time in your life you might have said, I fell out of love. There's no such thing as that. At the end of the day, love is simply a commandment that we get from God to love one another as He has loved us. So then love is a choice. For me as a Christian, it's a choice to obey or not to obey. For people that just don't believe in God, but yet still are good people, good morals, good integrity, still becomes a choice. Then the choice becomes, do you honor your word till death do you apart? See, marriage, life, children, it's a very bumpy road, but it's a very exciting road. And yes, sometimes it looks like we're about to fall off the cliff. Sometimes we look like we're just bumping on rocks, never ending. And sometimes the pavement is just very, very smooth. It doesn't matter. What matters at the end is the story that is told about us. Who will people tell when you leave? What type of story will your children, grandchildren tell about their father or grandfather? It is my prayer that they tell the story of a very complex life, but that soon enough, before it was too late, if there is such a thing, or before death took me, I was able to reinvent myself, allow God to come into my life and change me and give me a heart for others. I hurt for every single mama there raising a kid without a father. I know I left two mothers like that. I thank God I was very involved in their lives and supported them till the end, till today, even times when they're already married. So I thank God for that. But there's many that do not have that. That just married somebody or had a baby with somebody that don't give a damn. And it's sad because it impacts not the wife that you left or the girlfriend, it impacts the child. And at the end of the day, just remember something. It was your choice to have that baby. It was her choice to allow it. The baby had no choice. So therefore, tell a life of integrity where you are there for your child no matter how late in life. And tell a life where a story where you don't look back. Almost like if the film is stuck in the past. Bad, bad, bad. Bad choices after bad choices after bad choices with no stopping an end. Tell a story, even if there's many bad choices. Tell a story of redemption. Tell a story of reinventing yourself. Tell a story how you're going to finish life. See, in life, it doesn't matter. Really, in reality, what our past is. Sure, it matters in the sense that it's there and it won't be erased. But it doesn't matter as it refers to our end. We're not defined by our past. We are defined by who we become. We're not defined by all the horrors that we did. We are defined by how much we got knocked down, but got up. And we're defined by the type of person that is a giving person. A person that sees others win. That's a great achievement. Many times in my life, the greatest joy I've had was losing so that I allowed others to win. Because see, that's what Christ did for me. So my brothers and my sisters, as we're ending the year, think hard about your life story. Think about your life as a movie. There's many credits to the movies. Many people that have an impact on your life, positive or negative. It doesn't matter, that part, as much as it matters whose credits you will be on, whose movie you will make an impact on. That's what I live for. And I thank God that He allowed me to see tomorrow. Be blessed.